calling. Yeah, nigga stalling. She need a couple stacks and I ain't feeling jolly. Yeah, my pocket full of money, pocket full of molly. Grams of that shit that make that pussy taste salty. Yeah, my baby.
Good evening. This is Street Politics, a place where bias and bullshit do not exist. Tonight, President Trump's spending bill passes the House. It's now in the Senate where it gets negotiated and tried to get voted on. Let's start with what's in the bill. Now, if you don't know, the Trump tax cuts, which are the Bush tax cuts, they are extended to expire next year in 2026 or 2027, around that time, around that tax year time. Trump and the Republicans, might as well say all the rich people, everybody, because the Democrats, they never try to stop it, they damn self. They're looking to extend them, making them permanent. So that's one of the things in the bill. Let's get with the sides, the happy meals, the things that they try to appease the poor people with. No taxes on overtime. So now for people who work over 40 hours, because it used to be anything over 40 hours that week. Now it's anything over 80 hours. So if you work over 80 hours, now you would not be taxed on overtime. So that's pretty good, I guess. They tax it pretty damn high, especially if you're somebody who do 50 hours or 60 hours a week. No taxes on tips. No taxes on tips. That's something good for those who are out there who are doing tips or tip sharing for the restaurant industry, something that's big here in the United States. I believe the little bit of money that they're getting paid now, some people $275 or $325. You're not making no money off of that. So no taxes on tips, no taxes on car loans. If you look at the car sales in America right now, I believe they are down. But car sales in America, them cars ain't moving. Ain't no new cars being sold. But no taxes on car loans. What else is in there? No taxes on tanning beds. For those people who like to go to the salon and, darken up their skin a little bit, get themselves a little suntan. So, or those who want to purchase their own tanning bed, and have it in their own private home, there'll be no taxes on tanning beds. That's also in the bill. What else is in the bill? The increase of child tax credit. They went up on that. Pennies for those who they need to appease. I guess those are all the really penny items that they really giving the poor people. The increase of statehood deductions. I don't know if that's good for you. They increased it from 10,000 to 40,000. Those are the pennies. Those are the penny pictures that they give into the for the poor people to appease you guys out there. Still, minimum wage is still $7.25. That's something they could have put in that bill. They could increase the federal minimum wage to $7.25 to a living wage. Why didn't they do that? Why aren't they talking about that? They'd rather throw you pennies. How much taxes do they really charge on overtime? I mean, they charge an awful fucking lot. I'm a nigga that does overtime quite often. So, I mean, they do hit me for like 20%. It probably don't be 20%, but it damn sure feel like 20%. But so now they're not really taxing it. So you know what I'm saying? That's good. Saving me maybe $150 or maybe $200 each and every time. But how much money would I have gotten if you would increase the minimum wage, some $7.25 to a living wage? Now, see, people don't really think about that. If you would increase the minimum wage, everybody gets paid, but they ain't thinking about you. All right, so let's see where the meat is. Pause. Let's see where the bulk of the spending bill is going to. All right, we have $700 billion cut from Medicaid. You got $300. I wish it was $300. You have $300 billion cut from student loans. So those who you think loans forgiveness or those who are graduating, congratulate those who just graduated, who just walked across. We are in that season of graduation season. Shout out to y'all students that are walking across that stage, but you're about to walk into a real world. They want your money ASAP because he just cut $300 billion out of student loans. So yeah, no debt forgiveness, no nothing to really help the Americans that are really out there. You got people that's walking out, graduating right now with a 40, 50, maybe $60,000 student loan debt, but there's no workforce. That's another topic for another day. All right, let's see what else we got. We got 449 billion cut for Medicare. So he got 700 billion cut for Medicaid, and then you got 449 billion cut for Medicaid. That's crazy. So that's almost damn near over $1 trillion cut from the insurance industry. Watch how that trickles down. We got 300 billion cut from food aid. 300 billion cut from food aid. So that's people who are on food stamps, EBT, SNAP. Yeah, 300 billion cut from that. See how that works out. Tax credits for EVOs. You also don't know who an EVO is electric vehicles. That tax credit is now gone. So it looks like Trump is starting to side with the oil industry. I told y'all that episodes ago. It was a reason why he was flying over Israel to go stop in Saudi Arabia, the number one oil producer in the world. And now all of a sudden, tax credits for EVOs, his boy Elon Musk, gone. So Musk then gave this man almost $1 billion. This is Trump, boy. That nigga's a gangster. Elon then gave this boy $1 million. And now he didn't cut into his industry. Wow. Savagery right here. So tax credits for EVOs, electric vehicles, are now gone. So anybody who's looking to buy an EVO, out of there. Gonna have to pay full price. America is going back to subsidizing oil industries. Okay, the increase of the military budget. So they increased the military budget where the military budget is already standing about $2 trillion, if not more. So they gave them an extra $150 billion. An extra $150 billion they gave to the military budget. We already have the number one spending and the number one strongest military on the planet. I don't know why they need an extra 150 billion, but like I said, how much would it cost? Something I got probably get in touch with the CBO. How much would it cost if you would increase the minimum wage? Would it cost 150 billion? Something to think about. What else what else type of pork do we got in this bill? We have $1,000 savings that goes to a Trump account. Hold me on that about the Trump account. I just know it goes to an account, but it's $1,000 savings to all new babies that are born in the Trump's presidential year. Now, I think that's a good idea. I really do. $1,000 to new families that are getting started. I don't think you'll be able to get to touch it, but I think it's good for that child and for that family if it's something that you can sit over a period of time. Maybe they give you $1,000 and then it sits, I don't know, for 5 years into a good account, something that's not too risky. Pause. What can we say about the Trump BBL bill? It's going to hurt Americans. That's my thought. Let's move into a segment what I call the good, the bad, the ugly. Now, what can we get out of the good out of the Trump BBL spending bill? The tax cuts. Let's start there. 700 billion cut for Medicaid. What could be the good coming out of 700 billion out of Medicaid? Millions are going to go without insurance. Kids are going to go without insurance. Now, expanding or making permanent the Trump slash Bush tax cuts. That pretty much touches anybody who's making, I don't know, 3 million or more or 4 million or more. So they're going to get a tax cut. I guess they're sitting at right now, what, 37%? And I guess they want to take them down to 30% permanently. Now, the Bush tax cuts has been in effect since when? 2000. Since the nigga was a kid. Now here we are in 2025, and they want to expand them, make them permanent. They've been rolling for 20 years and ain't shit trickled down, but they want to make them permanent. I guess that's the good. Another good thing I think that's in the Trump's BBL spending bill. I think the $1,000 savings is a good idea for new families or babies. I think they really have to hold on that idea, but I think that's something that Americans need to really look into and hold into, because I believe we're hurting as Americans. Here on the bottom, the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. Here we have a spending bill, and they didn't increase. They're not even talking about increasing the federal minimum wage. It's still $7.25. It's about the same price as fucking gas. Excuse me for my language. But what can you say? Has the trickle down economics really worked? They're about to make these tax cuts permanent for the super rich. How big does your belt need to get? How much more do you need to own? There's nothing else to own. There's nothing else really to buy. You can't give us a little bit of the pie? Pause. Moving on. Let's see what's the bad in the Trump BBL spending bill. What's the bad? In Trump's second term, what have you learned? Not a motherfucking thing. This man is spending money faster than it's printed. Now, in his first term, he spent well over what the national average, what we were supposed to bring in. So he put us in debt, spending way more money than any president in history in his first term. Now in his second term, he's trying to clean up most of the shit he spent on his first term. Y'all ain't really catching that. But one thing he ain't cleaning up, he's trying to make that damn Bush tax cut permanent. The bad is the deficit is going to be on our children. Trump only in two terms, and he ain't even had these terms consecutively, has spent more than any president in presidential history. This man is already over $10 trillion spent. 10 trillion already. This nigga ain't even been in fucking White House 100 days. How you spend almost 10 trillion? That's how much you think he need. He need $10 trillion. And they ain't putting this on you. They putting this on your kids and your other kids. That nigga's 60, 70 years old. He don't care. He ain't living here. The ugly. It's going to get ugly. Trickle down economics does not work. And the problem is, for the average American person, you don't have a fighter for you out there. The Democrats ain't fighting for you because Obama was there. He didn't do shit about the Bush tax cuts. He kept them in there to appease those people. Then when Biden got in there, he didn't do nothing either. He still kept the Bush tax cuts in there rolling. So what is Trump going to do? The fuck? They must like it. So if he come in there, I'm gonna put the Trump's tax cuts on there, and I'm gonna increase them, and we need to make them permanent. So the entire Wall Street and everybody is getting stupid paid, and while the broke is getting broker. I don't know who the heck this is supposed to help, but hey, that's the good, and that's the bad, and that's the ugly. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The Trump BBL spending bill still in the Senate, still hasn't moved. Right now, they're thinking about breaking up the bill into two bills. They feel like it's too big. Pause. So to implement everything that the president wants to implement, they feel like they have to break it up into two bills, according to Senator Senator Johnson. But what they ain't telling you is the rich people want to get richer, and the poor people are about to be left behind. If the Senate passes this spending bill, the cuts into Medicaid, into Medicare, and the cuts into the food, the food emergency, pretty much the cuts into SNAP or EBT, whatever you want to call it, is going to hurt this country. You're not gonna feel it right now. So everybody right now looking towards jumping in the pools and, you know what I'm saying, having a good time and, you know, enjoying their Father's Day and getting ready for 4th of July. But in 6 months, when this bill is really implemented, you're gonna really feel the effects for real. Pause. Because not only over $1 trillion cut into the insurance industry, that's one of the most grimiest industries. He just cut $1 trillion out that industry. How savage are they gonna get now? How long is those emergency rooms going to get by next year in 6 months with $1 trillion cut? Huh? How long are you going to have to wait to get surgery or to get a procedure done when Medicaid and Medicare already gives you what, 6 months, sometimes 3 months waiting until you get your appointments? How long are those appointments going to be now? I'm telling you, you're in for a treat. This was what I asked for. You put a multi-billionaire in office. How about the cuts into student loan debt? Well, student loans. We're in graduation season. Congratulations to everybody who graduated. But how you going to afford when they start calling asking for that loan? America's in trouble with this BBL spending bill. And if this thing gets implemented, You heard it here first on Street Politics. We will go back into a recession. Now, Trump's trying to clean up a lot of BS in this bill. There's a lot of gimmicky tricks in this bill. But hey, who am I? We'll be right back. The NBA Finals. Man, what can I say? Y'all putting on a real good show. NBA Finals putting on a real good show. Who would have thought Indiana would be up 2-1 on an OKC? Who would have thought? Because I definitely didn't have that. And I think the NBA knew there was going to be too many motherfuckers that's going to write this game off, two small market teams. But they giving you a fucking game. I got to give it to them. Halliburton and white boy Rick, they went back into the lab. And they came out explosive. Pause. And I think they found the weakest, I think they found the nick in their armor to OKC. I think they found the nick in their armor. OKC is tall, but not physical. And one thing Miles Turner did, shout out to him last night, man. That man got real physical with Chet. Chet didn't want that smoke. Chet didn't want that smoke last night. And that's going to be a problem moving forward. Because if Indiana get in their bag and they feel like OKC soft, it's a wrap. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and put that money on Helly. Because right now, white boy Rick, shout out to white boy Rick. My man, white boy Rick did his thing. I don't know what he told him. He took them back to Indiana. I don't know. He probably pulled out some old Bobby Knight. he might have pulled out some old Bobby Knight on them niggas, son. Like, for real. Cause them some totally different boys last night that came out to play. So I don't know how many people got their money on OKC. Because there's so many underlying politics things that you can talk about that's going on right now in the finals. Is the world better than the USA? How many world players is on OKC? Shea representing for Canada right now. Canada going crazy. Canada really think they taking over. They had fucking Drake, thought he was taking over. And then you got Shea over here. Come on, son. What we doing? What we doing, son? I think white boy Rick pulled out a spirit of Bobby Knight. He tightened them boys up, pause. So, I don't know if I got a bet on it. I put my money on them Pacers, man. I put my money on them Pacers. And shout out to Reggie last night. Shout out to Reggie last night. My man had on a Mark Jackson jersey. That wasn't a coincidence. That definitely wasn't a coincidence. Mark Jackson, New York. We need a coach. Mark Jackson made Steph who Steph is. They don't want to give that man his props, but come on now. Make that call, New York. Because you don't need no soft-ass coach in there. Because you got rid of Tibbs for no reason. But back to the segue. That was a quick segue. NBA got something going on right now. So, if the Pacers, it's never been no consistent winners back to back. They do this all the way to 5 or 6 games. I mean, yeah, it might be good, but somebody got to find out something. I think the way Indiana played last night, yeah, If they play again, luckily they probably don't play again till Sunday. But if they had to play again, that's a nice little gap. So with that gap, I think White Boy Rick gonna write something up. And Young Helly, they got you, Shay. And that's sad. Pause. And that's sad. And I like how the refs is not calling that bullshit. We in the finals, we in the playoffs. It's real. You know what I'm saying? Segue right quick into some politics shit. Indiana's in the finals. And there's some politics shit right quick. Segue. Indiana's in the finals. Indiana is probably one of the poorest states in the union. One of the poorest states in the union. You don't think none of them niggas over there got no EBT cards? And I ain't talking about black niggas. Pause. You don't think none of them white people got EBT cards? Indiana went clearly for Trump. I know Trump think he about to pull up. But I want all y'all people to know who's going to be in that stadium when Trump pulls up. Pause. That nigga about to cut y'all EBT cards. 300 Billy was just cut from EBT and SNAP. That's just a segue. My bad. I ain't mean to throw y'all off right there in this little part. But until next week, that's some real shit. No bias and no bullshit. Street politics.
I got a pocket full of money, pocket full of Molly, grams of that shit that make that pussy taste salty. Yeah, my baby mama calling, yeah, nigga stalling. She need a couple stacks and I ain't feeling jolly. Yeah, my pocket full of money, pocket full of Molly, grams of that shit that make that pussy taste salty. Yeah, my baby mama calling, yeah, nigga stalling. She need a couple stacks and I ain't feeling jolly. Yeah, my cell phone ringing, looking for that Gina. I'm on the other end like, where can I meet you? Man, she pulled up in that beam, I'm like, damn, nice to meet you. Bad little bunny, wanna sack for that chief, man, the bad.